Welcome back to Exceptional Talk with Dr. Clark. Tonight, we're going to look at a topic, the problems of education inequality. Remember, I told you in the beginning in my introduction that we will be covering various topics. And tonight, I want to cover this topic for you and I to actually view a video. And then I want you to let me know what are your thoughts. Please ask questions and share your thoughts in comments below. Here we go, guys.
Passports are better than others, giving the holder access to better schools and teachers, and in turn, a more prosperous future. These inequalities have been around long before COVID-19, but the pandemic has both exacerbated them and made them more visible. While the standard of education varies greatly globally, education inequality happens at the local level in all countries. For example, only 4 out of every 100 children in Africa is expected to enter a graduate and postgraduate institution, compared to 14 out of 100 in South and West Asia and 36 out of 100 in Latin America. Even in developed countries, the quality of schooling can differ greatly whether rich or poor. High national wealth, then, is no guarantee of high equality. The UK, Germany, and the US are among the richest countries in the world, but all three ranked poorly on an educational inequality league table of 41 of the world's richest countries. By the middle of secondary school, educational inequalities are worse than in other countries with much smaller economies, such as Latvia, Spain, and Estonia. However, research has shown that child development is linked with income. Unsurprisingly, the US and the UK have some of the highest levels of income inequality among OECD countries. In the UK, there has been a significant lack of social mobility since 1945. As wealth inequality has remained high, there hasn't been much change in how well British children are doing at school. In a 2019 report by the education coalition Fair Education Alliance, pupils from disadvantaged backgrounds in the UK lagged their peers by more than 8 months in reading, writing, and maths by age 11.
Children from persistently disadvantaged backgrounds are 22 months behind by the time they finish their school career. Small progress has been made in helping some children almost beat the odds and overcome the barriers that face them, but the systemic underlying factors of our education system still remain, which mean we're not ever reaching the most persistently disadvantaged.
So what are the contributing factors of education inequality among children? According to UNICEF, a child's educational progress is linked to their family background. What kind of jobs the parents have, or whether the child is a first-generation immigrant, can affect the likelihood of them continuing into higher education. Inequality between genders is also apparent from a young age and tends to grow as children get older. Reading abilities among girls are generally better than boys by the age of 9, and in turn, that discrepancy is more likely to continue in education beyond secondary school. And finally, which school you go to can have a significant impact on your academic performance. In many countries, the debate on inequality in education is seen through the prism of private schools versus state schools. The UK is home to some very famous private schools like Eton College and Harrow School behind me. Of the 55 British prime ministers, nearly half were educated at just these two schools, along with prominent actors, writers, scientists, and royalty from across the world. To compare, the entire state school education in England of a young person starting from nursery costs an average of around $96,000. The annual school fees at Harrow, however, costs around $56,000 for just 1 year of a child's tuition. But even that is dwarfed by private schools in Switzerland, such as La Rose, which cost more than $135,000 per year. Many believe that private education is at the root of inequality and reduces the chances for those students who attend state schools. The statistics tell us that educational privilege provides significant advantages and opens many doors. In the UK, nearly a third of members of parliament, 2/3 of the country's top doctors, and 74% of judges were privately educated. The exam results also reflect the disparity. In 2019.
Okay, so as you can see, that there is a vast disparity between both private schools and public, or shall I say state schools. So what I would like for you to do is to share your thoughts with me. on what you've seen. And the next time we'll look at schools here in the States. Thank you for sharing with me tonight on the problem of education inequality. Exceptional Talk with Dr. Clark.